Hello everyone, it's Jill and welcome to my craft. I've just been out walking today with my dog and I walked up the little old Roman road and it really inspired me to try and do a little scene around that, and I came back and I've just done this and I thought that was just so pretty that I wanted to share it with you. So you can either do this and mount it onto a card, or you can pop it into your little journal if you've got a little journal. It's just a pretty little scene. So, right, to start with, let me just pop that out of the way then. And we're going to start with the gel plate. I'll just pop that onto some bit of this. And I'm going to blank off a little section in the middle because that's the bit that I want for the road. So I'm just going to cut off a little piece of post-it note into roughly a road shape that disappears onto the horizon or into the distance. Have a little bit of squiggle in it, doesn't really matter. There we go. And I'm just going to pop that down there, probably there. Use the scissors, and I've got my brayer, and I'm going to use the elements in olive. There we go, that's all we need for that at the moment. I'm just going to spread that nicely on there. Right, so that's that done. And then I'm going to do some my little brushes. And I've got the leaf green. Just going to pop a bit of that all over. Oops, a bit much there. Never mind, let's just take a bit of that off. If I had a bit of paper. There we go. Yeah, that's better. And then I've got some brown. So with the brown, just leave my brush a moment. So with the brown, I'm just going to take this little mask off. There we are. So the brown's going all over. Take a little bit of that off. And this is going to help with the little road that we're going to do in a minute. And then we've just got a few brown bits in the what's going to be the canopy. Clean that off. Pop that away. Okay, so I wanted a bit of light coming in here because the sunlight is just coming through the canopy. I've got a tiny little bit of tissue paper. What I'm going to do is just pat around here and there and see what that does to the brushes. Obviously the light's coming in across the top, so we don't want anything down the bottom. We're just going to leave that. There we go. So I've just taken some of that off. Right, it's going to come in with my card. And I'm using the Clarity card today, Clarity stamp, which is that really good alternative to the multifarious. Let's see if we can just take that up then. Here's my brush. There we go, that's what we've got. It all looks a bit weird at the moment, but it'll be all right. Right, just put my plate across here a moment, so we don't need that anymore. Right, so I'm going to colour the road, and for that I've got frayed burlap in the Distress, Hickory Smoke and Vintage Photo, only because they're the only colours I've got. It doesn't matter if it's Oxide or Distress, anything like that. It's fine. Oops, a daisy. Right, here we go with my brushes. So I'm going to trim it down a bit later. No hurry at the moment. just to get a bit of colour down on there. Bear in mind, I don't want it too dark because obviously I want some sunlight coming through. So that's the frayed burlap. And then the hickory smoke. It's just to add a bit of multicoloured background for the road, really, because, you know, it's all stony, it's all old, it's very countrified. There's that one. And I'll just quickly clean that bit off because I'm coming with the vintage photo now. Let's just add a little bit of warmth to it now. All looks a bit peculiar at the moment, but it'll be fine. Yeah, just give that a blend like that. Okay. So now we want some stamping. So I've got the tree branch, and I'm going to use pine cone. Now I want this to come over, so I'm going to make a lovely little archway. So we're going to start from this side and come in from the edge here. So I'm going to do a few of these. It's going to be quite twiggy. Put it in at a different angle. Let's just do one up here, perhaps like so. There's probably enough of those. Put the lid on and get my stamp off. Right, then I've got the little branch, the mini branch, which I'm just going to get a smaller block. Nothing wants to stick today. That's better. Now I can't get the lid off. Oh my goodness. Bit of suction. There we go. And I'm just going to fill that out a bit. There we go. That's enough of those. This bit here that I've missed here, just get a pencil, join it on. No problem. There we go. I won't even know that's there later. Right, so that's that one. And then what I'm going to do is use the tree stem. So I'll get my really big block for that. Again in the VersaFine Clair. Move that way a bit. Oh crikey, this lid is really getting a lot of suction today. Must be the weather. That's what I blame. Right, anyway. put that one down there. Maybe stick another one. Oh, I need to take this bit off the end here. Look. I want the second impression, and that's quite dark. Okay, so just pop that up there. Pop one in this side. As I said, don't worry about all this bit around the edges. We can always get that off in a minute when we trim it down. I'm just going to ink up the top part. I'm going to stamp off. I'm just going to pop a tree here. And same again, stamp off. This is just so that we've got something in the distance. I think I'll do one more. There we are. Maybe just one there. Evens it up now. So now we've got that done. I'm going to come in with some green, and I'm starting with the fern branch. I'm using the large of them at the moment, and the colour I'm using for that is the VersaFine Olympia green. As I said, I'm not quite sure which colour this is when you go over to the Claire, VersaFine Claire. It's just one of the darker greens. Just going to fill out the foreground a bit with this big one. Take that one off and come back to this, the smaller of the ferns. Just to do a bit of infilling. Right, so that's that one. We'll just clean the block. Now it's time to put some leaves on. And I've got the, oh, which leaf did I get? I've got the creeping vine. And I've got one of the mini leaves. I think it's the maple leaf or something. Right, let's pop that onto there first. I think I'll go with the pine, the vine first. And I'm going to use the pine for that one, I think. So juicy, these, so lovely. So what I'm basically going to do is just cover this whole of this canopy in leaves. A bit too juicy. I don't think it really matters up here too much. Right, let's do that. And let's come in with the mini leaf. I think that's mini leaf 5. I'm going to use the olive, I think. So you can see all the white spaces are looking very much like sunlight, which is really quite pretty. I'm going to be using a lot of these leaves. There, so that's enough of those, I think. I'm going to come in with something else now, down here. But first of all, what I really want to do is trim down. So I'm just going to leave that there. I'll need that block a bit later. There we go. Let's take that off and clean my block a minute. Okay. So let's trim the card. Oh, sorry, I've knocked you. Terrible. I'm just going to trim this down and then come back to you. So you can see now we've taken all that white off from around the edge, how much that's brought that in, and you've got a nice little focal point there, and it's looking like a lovely green canopy. So I'm just going to add a few more bits and pieces here. I've got some holly. I'm going to use the evergreen bough for that. And we're just going to try and do a little bit more in the foreground. So holly, we get quite a bit of that in the hedgerows here and in the walks here, UK. Doesn't make a lot of difference. I think my ink pad's getting a bit dry somehow. But it's just, you know, those finishing touches. Right, so that's enough of that. And then I've got a little tree that's come out of the little tree scene. I thought if I did it without the stalk on it, it looks very much like some little ferns. So I'm just going to come in with the, I think I'm going to try the Olympia green on that one. So yeah, just going to do the top part of that. And start putting it around the edge of the pathway. I've just done the stalk. Don't worry about that. Let's just take that off. There we go. Enough of that beneath, and then I'm just going to put some mushrooms in. Now mushrooms, we need the pine cone again. That's enough of those. And then I've got a nice one here, the one that goes on the tree, which I've mainly cut off, but never mind, you'll go there. Excellent. Just peeping in at the side there. So that's all our greenery in. Now for the little mice. These are the little woodland mice. And I think I went with this little chappy here. And I'm coming in with the Fine Claire and the black with him. Make sure it's all linked up nicely. There we go. He's going to be saying hello to Mr. Spider in a minute when he goes on. And where are you, Mr. Spider? That's this one here. Let's put him about here, I think. I need to attach him. Where's my pen? I'm just going to put one of the pens I use. She says, not being able to find the pen. Found it. Right, okay. Let's just join them up to a tree somewhere. Tree branch. There we go. And we're just going to give the pair of them some eyes. Got my white uni ball. Let's just check that that's... Oh, sorry, I've knocked you yet again. Right, here we go. Let's check this one's the one that works. No, it isn't. It must be this one. That's the one. With 2 little eyes on this guy. One little eye on this guy. There we go. So that's done. Now I'm just going to go around the edge. I think I'm going to use the evergreen bough, and I've got the Distress Oxide for this one. That other one's, the Distress Ink's too dry. There we go. Just go around the edge. That's better. So you can start colouring as much of that white as you like. That's pretty. Lid on. And I wanted to do a little bit of shadow on the ground here, so a little bit of shadow for my mouse. I'm just going to get a black pencil and just colour in roughly. And then I want some stones. So for the stones, I'm just going to follow round any little lumps there that look a bit stonish. If there aren't any, we can draw some in. And then I just wanted to add a little bit of something just a bit different. So I've got some more pencils here. I'm just going to draw a little bit of grass popping up around this, on this little pathway. Tiny little bit of this. There's a little brown in the middle. It looks like a little flower when it's all done. So it just adds just a really tiny little bit of colour there. Mr. Spider's sort of fading away into the background. Let me see if I can just give him some colouring him in over with this pen. Just to see if we can give him a bit more definition. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. And then just finish it off. I'm just going to do a few little flowers up and down the side here in the grass. There. Pretty little woodland scene, as I said. You can put it onto a card, you can put it into your book. They're all different, will come out different, depending on what happens with your background on your gel plate. And I hope that's given you a little bit of inspiration for something just a little bit different. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye now.